What up, Chad? How we doing? What up, Static, Michael, Sach, Calm? How y'all doing? What up, Jeepers? Doing good, bro? I'm doing good. I spent most of the day doing not much because I didn't pay attention to the market a whole lot. I watched Jake's afternoon stream, but that's about it. What up, right guy? What up, Toasted? What up, Jeepers? Appreciate you, Toasted. Appreciate you, Brown. What up, Naturally? Johanna. Did you guys trade today? Y'all survive FOMC? Doing wonderful. Always doing wonderful. Scalp City. Probably a good way to get through it, to be honest. No, reggae, I didn't. What up, Nap? How you doing? Appreciate you, Sergey. Eldred. Heck no, flat all day. Smart man. Smart man. Dude, I was so irritated. Well, what not irritated? I did take one trade. And that was while I was on Jake's stream around here. Because I thought we were going to reject. And then I immediately thought, I took a short. Because I was just trading eval. I was like, I'm going to try to see if I can pass this thing. I wasn't even trading aggressive. I just thought we could get a really big move. And I was looking at it. I'm like, why am I trading? Like, my whole goal was not to trade today. So I closed it. Like, straight down. Never came back up. Yeah, Elder, that's unfortunate. It is. I'm sure a lot of people tried long. I didn't love the long perspective just because I still had the same thesis as last night. Especially once we got back below 7,600 after breaking it overnight. The market looked like it wanted to go lower wholeheartedly. I thought it did. Today's going to be interesting. I mean, I think there's a chance we get some moves with Asia. The only question is just what? And it's hard for me to not lean lower because we look at the daily charts. Dailies are pretty friggin' ugly. We are back to retesting this little breakout on every chart at the moment. So there's a chance we hold. It's just looking at the 4-hour structure. We definitely look more bearish than bullish, which is where I'm a little torn. But while we're above the open, if I shorted, it'd be one short, most likely. Until then, it'd be waiting till we get below. What up, Soul? What up, Dougie? Got smoked on 5 Apex on micros. Yeah. I mean, today we got volatility. We finally got an FOMC where we got a decent move. I'm sure a lot of people wanted the upside for that daily 3-bar play. Did we spike yesterday's high at all? No. So we just broke straight lower. So we played out the thesis that I was looking for last night. Just drastically later. Did we hit the gap on ES too? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did fill that. YM's the only one that didn't. It would need to go down another 500 points to get down there. 400. So that's interesting. I feel like I don't lean bullish or bearish. I mean, we could make, what's the weekly look like? Yeah, weekly straight neutral. Tomorrow's a big day for ES and NQ. Tomorrow's a really big day for ES and NQ. Because that'll shape the entire weekly and daily structure. because we could be trying to hold this. The main thing that has me is the daily closes and the 4 hour, which ES daily close is probably the ugliest. The rest of them are fine. So that's why I don't want to be like aggressively bearish. I feel like we could easily rally back into this little sell-off we had. Especially if we get back above like 35-ish. 35.40 is a decent overhead resistance. We get above that, I think we can easily trend higher. Why is tomorrow important? The weekly candle for me. So just looking at this chart, because if tomorrow rallies, we're more of a neutral candle. At that point, we're just stuck in a weekly range. If we sell off below like today's lows, that's a pretty bearish weekly candle because we'd be looking to close down here, right? And that's not what you'd really want to see if you're trying to be bullish in the market. But if we get that little bit, either a consolidation or a little bit of a rally tomorrow, then we lean more towards that neutral to where we can still be bullish. Especially on the daily on the other indices besides ES. If we hold, let's say NQ starts to make it halfway back up to today's candle, it doesn't look terrible. It doesn't. Yeah, I think unless we get a 5-minute downtrend, I'm not going to short. I'm just going to stick with that thesis. I will be paying a lot of attention to like 35 to 40, how we react to that. I'd be willing to take one stab before we get into like a clean as day downtrend, but downtrend. Other than that, I'm just sitting cash. Waiting pretty much to see where we want to go. Because right now we're just slowly chopping. What up, SoCal? Tomorrow's a full day, yes. Tomorrow's a full day, and then Thursday or Friday should be like a half futures day, I would assume. I would lean towards that we're not going to stream tomorrow. Because it's half day after FOMC and OPEC. I just feel like we're not going to get much. Yeah, stopped at 75.80 trying to short. Up here or here? I would assume here more so. Unless you just tried to front run like 73s and then got stopped up here. That could make sense. How's it going? It's going good, brother. How you doing? What up, PT? What about oil? I didn't look at it yet. Dude, gold had so much potential up here. So much. What's that daily look like? Because I'm still waiting to see if anything. Not interested in longing that daily. That daily doesn't look wonderful on gold. We went down to tested the 4250 support, which is good. If we get back above like 305 to 330-ish, just that general resistance here on the 4 hour, you could see buyers step back into gold, but that's a decent bit away. Oil looks horrible. Oil is at these lows. This is going to be a make or break point for oil. If it gets back below 74s, then we could easily see the floor break out and we start heading back towards pre-war prices. And that, I mean, it looks clear as day for that. Weekly should look atrocious right now, yeah. Weekly, monthly look rough. Could be more of a retest, but you're going to need time on that to really build conviction either way, at least for me. For a broader term trade. If you're trying to trade that like daily double bottom, I could see it, but it's speculative for me at the moment. What up, Bugs? What up, SO? Gold setting up really clean. What's setting up clean on gold? I just don't like the look of the 4 hour or the hourly. Can we rally back into this up towards like 330s? Yeah, easily. But for me, that's not so much a chart that I'm overly eager to dive into. And that's usually how it's going to be post FOMC. You're going to get some shit candles that you just got to figure out what you want to do with them. What up, Jomo? Not like deep SO, but a little bit. No, I did not. So good entry. And 72 was there. I was not liking it. And then that retested, moved fast, and I jumped out. That's fair. Valid. Sorry, I'm just reading. Yeah, I mean, SO, in theory, we can reverse any move. But at the same time, if you look at it, we're in the same situation as this. No top wick, sold off aggressively. Got a little bit of a rally, slam lower. If we want to short overnight, this is what I would want to see. I would want to see a lot of price action build up to where we end up getting a failure on like some mid time frame and then take some type of short. But that would be a long time before that plays out. So right now we are just slowly grinding higher on the indices, which I'm not opposed to trading. Not opposed to trading longs. We have a decent amount of room till resistance if we can get over like 40, which even that would give us like 12 points at the moment. Hourly close strong, so we can live off that. And Q, I'd want to see how it reacts up around 300, which we're about 50 points from. Could end up being another like slow up grind on stream throughout the session. Because that's what a majority of this week's been, I feel like. How's your cake day? Good, brother. It was good. I was just hanging out for the most part. No, TCM. I don't trade gold a lot, mainly because when I trade gold, I just get stopped out. Because I try to trade it with a similar structure to ES, and it just does not move the same. It's something I haven't put a lot of analysis into to figure out exactly how I want to trade it yet. So it's just an asset I don't touch often. Sometimes I will, but most of the time I just do like some in-depth analysis on gold to see like what it looks like and then give the chat thesis. But no, I mean, gold definitely has room to the upside. And if we get buying pressure today, we could see it continue to push. The indices could do the exact same, where we just get this slow, grindy move up. Upside target, if we do end up getting something on ES, would be 53 if I take a long. How old you turn it? My birthday was yesterday, but 29. Oh, did you turn? I read that wrong. Appreciate you, Victoria. Me and my one buddy were talking about that yesterday as well when he called me. How most dudes like just barely even celebrate a birthday, and then there's people out there who will take an entire month. Like he said, he had a coworker that took 3 Fridays off in a row because she was celebrating her birthday every single weekend that month. And I was like, that's just diabolical. Dominic, I think that's what I don't love about it, is the lower time frame volatility on gold. I mean, ES right here would be about a 6-point stop. Because, I mean, this is technically a consolidation on the 15. If we want to get buying pressure, we could push up. My issue is this resistance. That is clear as day right here. Around like 35, 40. I'll try a little entry on ES. Oh, my P&L's off. There you go. I'm going to use about a 7-point stop. Dream world target would be up here. I don't know if we fully get to that, but we'll see. For now, we're just riding the trend. See if we can get some continuation here. Because I like the way we closed. I think we can get a decent rally back up into it, and I'm willing to take the risk on that. Trading with the trend for this session. We're above the open. Nice 5-minute consolidation. If we get buying pressure, stronger 15-minute close there as well. We should easily pop that. So what do you mean, what was I doing at 25? When I was 25 years old? You were trading options on gold? I feel like options on gold wouldn't be as bad because I've seen them move pretty well before. Trend follow from the higher time frame and 5-minute orb for the entry in the same direction when you trade gold. That's not bad. I know a lot of people in here use 5-minute orb. So you ain't even close to old at 25, my guy. You ain't even close. 25, I was learning trading. I was about a year into trading. So I was probably at some of the lows of my life because I just lost a metric shitload of money, not knowing what I wanted to do. And then I think, 26, I went full time or halfway through 25, somewhere in there. Yeah, 25 was a tough year because that was, 25, so 4, 22. Yeah, that was 2022. That was the end of 2022, though. The beginning of 2022 is when I lost a lot of money. 7530.5. If you need to, it's right below, right here. That's why I put that there. I also changed it so the net position will show either the whole number or it'll show negative the contracts if I'm short. So you guys know, even though you can see it on stream, people still ask. Yeah, so that was why I was willing to get into trading. Is I was 24, 25. I was willing to take the grind. I was willing to lose money if I struggled in trading. Forgot to do this, chat. We're gonna do a giveaway. $150 likes. I know y'all can easily do that. Y'all do it every single stream. So if you want to show some love, like the stream, show some support. See if we can get this trade up to 53 for a nice little 33 points. That wouldn't be too shabby. How do you get in on the giveaways? When I run them, there'll be a prompt that you have to follow. So you just have to be here when I do the giveaway. So whenever we hit 150 likes or at the end of stream, whichever happens first. Usually we hit the likes because you guys love to support. Yeah, I think this can push higher. Because yes, structurally, and here's why I was more so willing to take it. First off, if I wanted to short, I would want to see more of a continuation higher. This 4 hour, I'd kind of want to close an inside bar, see the next one spike higher, then we push lower. In that case, we're going to need to go higher no matter what. It just depends on how much farther. The other one would be just the daily structure. Yes, this daily candle is not great, but we had volatility. When we have volatility, we pay attention to structure a lot. We came back and retested this area and held. On NQ, we retested the prior all-time highs again, which when we broke out, we ripped 800 points. And RTY, beautiful retest. I know you guys can barely see that because of the thumbs up. I'm not moving it because then it takes me 5 minutes to get it back where it is on the 5 minute. YM also retested all-time highs. So I think there's a chance we do rally into tomorrow. A lot of people would have got trapped short overnight. Yeah, Chad, those of you just hopping in, how'd you trade today? Because I know there's only a few when I asked that question at first. Anyone go full degen on FOMC? I know there's at least one in here that did. And it's okay to admit it. How much money can you make on a funded? A lot. You can make a lot of money. It depends how well you do on it. Like, for instance, last year, Alan made like $800-something thousand. Jake made like $500,000 or $600,000 last year on prop firms. Made sure you went to sleep so you weren't even tempted. Hell yeah, smart thing to do. Smart thing to do. Static, sometimes it's better to just not do it, right? Sometimes it's better to just stay cash. And it is what it is. I won't trade FOMC till after the minutes start. Well, after the meeting starts. Most of the time I don't. Like today I said I took one small trade, but I immediately went out right after I got in. Slime, you can, if you get enough payouts, you can go to a live account with them and continue to make money off of it. So you can make an unlimited amount of money off one account if you continue to trade it well. Because you'll go to a live account and they'll be copying your trades, making them money on top of it. Or you can transfer between multiple accounts, multiple prop firms, and get max allocation between them, which can net to a lot of money. Because if you're talking a 50K account, normally you can take out 1,500 to 2,000 depending on the firm and how many payouts you've gotten. So you're talking like 10K per payout if you lock in 5. But if you haven't traded prop firms before, don't do 5 accounts. Just try 1 until you get a payout. Then you can size up. Lucid, you can take, I like the Lucid Flex accounts. You can take $2,000 per account every 5 days if you meet all the parameters on a 50K. What up, Dev? What do you mean what's next after Top Step? It was good, Dev. It was good. I mainly just hung out. I didn't do a whole lot. All right, chat. We're approaching that like 1 hour area. We really shouldn't get back below 30 at this point. Structurally, we should not go back to 30. If I'm gonna be honest, if we get a higher low, I'm willing to add 2 contracts, which would be a small add, but I don't know if we're going to get a higher low. At least one that I'd be wanting to add on. What other platforms are out here? You just said one. My man, you just said Lucid. Lucid and Tradeify are my 2 favorites. I'm going to tease the stop up a little bit to 25. Not a crazy move, right? It's like, what, 1.5 points, somewhere around there. See if we can get this riding. Reason I did that is we have this 5-minute consolidation. If this pulls back below our open more so, I would start to think that the trade's going to be reversing on us. And we really shouldn't get below 27, 28-ish. Because I don't even want us below 30. So like below 27, 28. I'm still leaving the stop a little wider. I'm not opposed to moving it up towards like 28 and then just leaving it there. which I might do sooner than later. I'll see. And we just should never test this if this trade's going to work. So that's why I moved it up a little bit. No point in risking another, even though it's like 1.5 points or almost 2 points. No point in risking it. What up, IAG? How you doing, brother? TCM, if you like it, worst case, just trail with a wider stop if you need to. Or whenever you just somewhat pay attention to it, and then whenever you go to bed, just throw a stop where you think it shouldn't hit. I will say, if we break through 40, I have no interest in it going lower. None. Because we really shouldn't. Like, if you look at this chart, if you're bearish, we should be rejecting pretty much right where we are. And if we get back over this like 40 area, which is the high of my little range here, I would anticipate much higher. Much higher. It'd be kind of crazy if we faded this whole move by morning, everyone starts freaking out. So you like 7,600. It's not crazy. Probably put up a huge fight around 580s if we get there. Huge fight. If we get over 53, which is the target that I have, obviously that's where I put my trim that I haven't set yet. But for me, I probably wouldn't trim aggressively. I'd probably rather trail and just see if we can let it keep running. Because I'd be interested in it rallying up towards 580s. See if we can get a little 50 points out of it. Something I would love, and this would be a different trade than normal if I do it, would be get up to 750s or 550s, consolidate a little bit on the 5 there. If we get a higher low, I would actually be willing to add into it and then see if we can get that continuation up. So far, it's looking good. Let's start our little poll. TCM, what you just described is exactly what oil loves to do. Oil is one where I don't love trailing stop unless I trim. And if I do, it is a wide stop. Because that fucking thing will wick 2 points in one direction and then completely reverse like it was nothing. Now, what trades are you guys in today? Are you guys looking at anything? You guys did anything? What are y'all doing? Wyatt made a nice 80-point move so far. Not too shabby. We're up like 8 points at the moment. We need to get over 40. But like I said, if we start consolidating, I'm willing to add into this trade. As long as we don't get like a super sharp rejection, I'll be willing to add. Close your long for 60 points on NQ. Hell yeah, Daniel. Nice trade. Love it. What's gold doing? Because I know some of you guys talked about it. Gold's slowly grinding. If it breaks this little 5-minute consolidation, it can go. Keep that 5-minute consolidation. Give the 15-minute inside bar there, or consolidation bar. What's the 2 look like? I just don't love the upper wicks on it, but it can easily. Yeah. Good. You've been in MES long since 510s. Beautiful entry. So you got in at the open, basically. So you saw the opening pullback and immediately got in. Missed out on Hood. Damn. Hood got a rip. Hood's at 110. Dude, we talked about this name on stream. I think it was the first day of stream. We talked about Hood. So it was what, April 14th? Yeah. The literal first day on stream, we talked about Hood. And it face ripped. And then obviously it pulled back, but we were still looking for it to get that strong continuation. It's crazy. Crazy. What's the 15 look like? All right. If this 15-minute inside bars, I'll probably add 2 contracts. I would need to see it inside bar though. I switched my account real quick. P&L come back. Where do you expect price to reverse? It doesn't really reverse. Joe, was it you that sent the songs last night? Because I listened to the first one. It was actually good. I like it. I'll probably play later. At the moment, I don't want it to reverse. I'd want us to sit in a 15-minute consolidation, chill here around 40, which was our resistance to start out, and then see if we can get continuation off of that. I would love for that to happen. If we end up rejecting 40, is what it is. I'm going to move stop up to 28 for now, just because we shouldn't get back there. So my risk on this trade is quite literally $75 now. What up, Acer? Right, guy, what do you mean about Suno? Is that a ticker? Green Day, I didn't trade today, Seven. I usually don't trade FOMC. the downtrend. We could hold here in the downtrend. I mean, we could easily hold this. We're at a stronger daily support. If we end up getting buying pressure, we have no issues going back up to 580s, which would be like a bigger target for me on this trade. Chat, I'm going to do something I don't normally do. And you guys can probably tell just by looking at the chart. I'm going to trade this on an eval, though. Wait. One second. So I did take a gold long on an eval. Probably gonna throw like a 10-point stop on it. Let's see, where would that be? So we're currently sitting at 98. And this trade's just for fun. I'm gonna throw a stop at 87. This one is solely just for fun. So I'm gonna focus on this one though. No. I'm not adding. I just took on an eval. I took a gold trade just to see if it works. We could easily set a lower high here off 40 on ES and end up pushing gold a little bit lower. I didn't trade today. I got to get something in, you know. I definitely wouldn't take gold on a funded for me just because I'm not used to it yet. So might as well see what we can do. Might get stopped though if we keep pulling back. I would like us to hold, honestly, at least 33 on ES. If we end up pushing back below that, the slight stop will happen. I'll lose $75, and it is what it is. Raf, it just depends if bulls are able to continue taking over like they currently are. Because what we could do is if we get more selling pressure at the moment, and it would need to be aggressive, is if we push the hourly all the way back to our stop, which is another reason I have it in that area, is we would start to set an hourly lower high and failure to go higher. At that point, I really wouldn't want to be in it anymore. So that's kind of where I put it, where I did. Cole, take it if you like it. I was in down here when I liked long, so I was willing to take it. I would love for a 15-minute consolidation here in which we can set more so that 15-minute 3-bar play for the continuation. Usually my entry is on the 5 and 15 for me. Yes, and you should be on ESU if you're trading the individual chart. I'm on TradingView, so mine are ES 1 exclamation mark, which just uses the most recent chart. which is the U series. If we lose 33, though, I'd start to anticipate a little bit more of a pullback. You wanted to short and went long. I've done it before. It sucks when it happens, but yeah, sometimes it just comes with patience. You know, if you don't wait long enough, it ends up kind of setting that up with you. It just gets unfortunate. So I talked about the possible add, and I'm going to do that here because my risk would be still less than I initially planned with this add. And all I need to do is get it above 36, 37, and then we get the little 2-minute buy. So I added 2 on my ES. If it pulls back, I lose, what, 150? Which I was risking, I think, 170 or 180 on this trade in the beginning. Do we full port? No. No. I'm playing into us possibly holding the 33 support on this. So I'm willing to add a little. Oh, I guarantee you a couple people in chat full ported FOMC. At least post FOMC. I'm willing to bet it. Appreciate you, Job. Yeah, Elder, that's why my stop where it is. Just because if we end up getting to my stop, we're setting in hourly failure to go higher. For me, it's more so what we do on this 15 and the next. If we end up closing this at the lows in the next 3 minutes and then get selling pressure below, we may end up setting that lower high, which if it is, it is. Cole, where's your order set? You passed your funded full porting? I'm sure a lot of people passed today. I also saw people on Instagram posting that they blew their accounts because they did their FOMC strategy. Because some firms let you trade the news on evals. So people love to jump in and then full port. 288. So you want a little bit more of a rally? Have us reject that and then you get your entry? I can see it. What's oil doing? Oil's fighting a little bit. I'm still weaker in general. We would need this 15 to get a little bit of a selling pressure into the end of its candle, which is in a few minutes. So we'll see how that closes in a minute. The ICT, dude, it's not like ICT traders are degen, but it's always the ICT traders, at least that I see on social media, that throw out their CPI strategy, their FOMC strategy to pass the evals. Where was that ad so I can mark it? 36. What the hell is the FOMC static? There's what they do is they'll wait for some big news like CPI or FOMC. Let's say we're right here when the news comes out. They'll throw a buy order here with a limit sell and then a sell order here with a limit buy to get out. So they'll preset orders on their chart. So whatever way it wicks, it should instantly fill them and immediately pass the account. But none of them equate for slippage, because you're going to get slippage on that strategy, or strategy with quotes. And then usually their orders just get skipped and then they get liquidated. But I've seen multiple people. It's usually younger kids trying it. Cole, was it a bet that he was going to say good afternoon? Slime, if you hit reverse position, it 180s your entire position. So like right now, if I hit reverse, it would take my whole position and put me 8 contracts short. So that's what that does. We would need to see this back over 36 pretty quickly here, just because of how this 5-minute closed around the lows. Even if it spikes the lows, I'm not opposed to that, but I would need it to get bought up pretty quickly. Let me draw this out real quick. One second, chat. Trying to draw this freaking thing on gold and it's moving too much. There we go. Yeah, that's this is definitely a higher risk trade. That is what we took on gold. And then my stop is 87. So it barely held in by 2 ticks. If it continues to hold or not. Cole, what do you mean is he going over a power of 3? The newer indicator is, it just shows what Jake showed on stream where it shows the hourly setup right next to his candles. What do you mean 8 short? Do I lost any profit? No, like if I hit reverse position right now, I'd close out the $175 in profit and immediately take me short. So I'd be in a short trade instead of long. If that happened. Yo, dude, I use TradingView connected to my Tradeify funded. I can only do TPs and stop loss when I limit order, but not when I market order. Like that happens instantly, even when I cancel like TP or stop loss. No, Raf, I don't know how to do that. I don't trade on TradingView. As you guys can see, I put these bracket orders up so that way you guys can see it, like this P&L tool. And then I put my P&L like right here underneath me. I only trade on TradeDebate. I do not mix them. I don't like it. I don't like, because sometimes I see TradingView lagging behind like a second or half a second. And I don't want to use a third-party platform to send my orders through there to TradeDebate. It probably doesn't make a big difference, but to me, it's just mentally, I just don't want to do it. Same reason I won't use like multi-account copy traders. I just don't want a third-party thing that I have to send my orders through to send them to the broker. Yeah, Alex, I did on that pullback. I got to touch it in FOMC. Logan, what'd you do? Yeah, Alex, if I didn't think it would keep going, I wouldn't have added into it. Like I was talking about, I'm looking for this 15-minute to get that consolidation bar that we mentioned. And then see, we may get another consolidation, but eventually look for that break of the highs, get over 40. Because 40 is the bigger resistance we talked about in the beginning of the stream. If we get that continuation up back higher, I can see us making our way up towards like 50 to 53s. And then if we get over that area, I'd be looking up towards 80s. For now, though, we're just seeing if this holds 33. Yeah, Thomas, I think if we get over 40, we can run pretty quick. I would be shocked if we didn't see a sharper like push at least to 50. You're in 5 ES minis? Holy shit. You are in. Yeah, Ralph, I started with Trade-A-Bait. So I started trading on TradingView. My first ever futures platform was Trade-A-Bait. And I watched a bunch of walkthrough videos on it, and that's how I got used to it and just experiencing over time. Eval? Okay, fair. Fair. Yeah, Detry, it's just something I don't like the thought of it. And also a good example is, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Trade-A-Bait wasn't working, but TradingView was. And most people that trade on TradingView through Trade-A-Bait didn't have Trade-A-Bait open, obviously. And they didn't know Trade-A-Bait wasn't working, so they immediately entered orders and they were down like 600, 700 bucks. I want to be able to see my brokers actually functioning before I start throwing orders on. $150K account down to 1K left. You use 5 minis with 1K of drawdown. My man's got balls of steel. Either that or you just got a hope and a dream it stays. Yeah, TCM, trading slow trends up is just about waiting once you get it. And I do it a lot on stream because this session is usually a little slower. And I mean, there's times we'll get sharp moves that fill orders for us, but a lot of the time you'll get these slower methodical trends. And the number one thing to do on it is just not touch it. Don't touch anything unless you want to add into it or take like somewhat of a trim off. And what I like to do, like after stream, let's say I'm not near my computer. In this situation, I would set whatever amount I wanted to trim here. And then whatever obviously my stop is here. And I would just put orders right there. I would do that and then walk away from my computer. Because I have the alerts go to my phone. My phone will tell me if I either get stopped out or if it trims. When it's a slower trend, I feel like most of the time, you don't even need to look at it. The trade's either going to work or it's not. And that's how I usually view it for the overnight. That's what I used to do before I started streaming it. I would just set alerts, set bracket orders, and then walk away. Or just close my broker. Because that also prevents me from getting in the way trying to execute because I'm sitting here for 3 hours and it's barely moving. But so far it's doing exactly what we want to do. We talked about a consolidation between like 35 and 40 if we get up here. So what we're doing, it's where we talked about we wanted to add. So far we did add and I'm cool with it. Risk on the trade is still a little less than when we started since we moved the stop up. Which even when I add, I move stop anyway. So that's why I'm happy I already moved it. Alex, where'd you get in at? What was your entry? Static, I'm already in longs. So I'm not looking for like new entries. But yeah, I'm looking for the market to continue. TCM, that's how some people are. And it's just, obviously, you have to completely flip your expectations when the market gets slow like this, right? You go from, we are literally going from ES getting 150 point days every day without a problem, and NQ moving 600 to 800 points, to now ES, like if we get a 50 point day, that's huge. Just because of where VIX is. Obviously, VIX is a little bit higher now post FOMC, back up at 18. But likely right now, if we're getting this slower price action, VIX is slowly pushing lower overnight, I would assume. Obviously, I'm not looking at the VIX futures chart, but I would assume it's slowly pushing lower, which is just going to lower volatility. And it's just, a lot of it is you can catch the same moves. It's just going to take a lot more time. What took 10 minutes before, 30 minutes before, might take 2 hours now. What that likely means, from what I'm hearing from you though, is you like to not be in trades for super long, because you can get in and get out quick when it's volatile. Flip the NQ longs. Welcome, Cole. Welcome to the good side. We'll see if we get continuation. I like the consolidation we're getting though. CBM, where are you getting long? Or where are you looking to get long on the NASDAQ? What up, Mike? How you doing, brother? Is it raining outside? Oh, yeah, it is raining again. Mother Nature, dude. It's supposed to rain for like a week. How's everyone? I'm doing wonderful. Like always. I'm always doing wonderful. Asia Open coming in hot. Oh, yeah, we do have Asia Open in 2 minutes. Keep an eye on it. Yeah, Mike, we've been getting a few. We're only getting them at night, though, which is odd. Yeah, TCM, I agree. I mean, with my trades, though, I like longer holds. I mean, if the move happens quickly, fine, I'm okay with it. But I usually aim for larger moves, but just longer holds, which is why I'm willing to throw like, this is honest, 7 points isn't a bad risk, but I'm now willing to throw up to like 10-point stops on ES and just let it ride. By the way, if gold does go, I have a stop below or I have a target below 50, which is a heavy fucking move. Like I said, I'm on an eval on that one. Actually, no. Where should I target? Below 40 would be where that target is. All right, now we need to see if we can hold this. If we get buying pressure, I would expect a quicker push up towards 50. It makes sense. And then where's that at? 50. I'm going to drop this to 52.50. Could also run it below 50 if you'd like. Front run 50 if we get up there. Yeah, Joe, I'm glad you said that. I wasn't even watching to notice the open. All right. Get us to 52.50. Don't stop under 50. Because that would be unfortunate. Static, you're long on gold, NQ, and ES. Holy hell. Holy hell. Also, not a bad trade so far, chat. Were we up 15 points? No. 20. Wait. Yeah, 20. Hitting that 50 area, if you have trims around here, likely filled. I want 52. What I'm doing is front running last week's highs. There's a chance 50 puts up a little bit of a fight. If we break over 53, I think we can run to 80. So runners will be held. Appreciate it, Alejandro. I don't want to be a dick for a tick. So I took it at 49 on a trim. So instead of 3R, I took 2.6. Worth it. I quite literally only took the ad off. So I still have my initial position. Now we hold. Also, gold is moving as well right now. So we're getting a little love out of that. I did say that one is on an eval. Let's see what account that is. 643. That is the, I don't know if you guys can even see that. Hang on. No, you can't. Because ES is in the way. Can I slide that up? Well, that one's up 1,300 right now. You guys just can't see it because for some reason, well, the box isn't big enough. So I'll go back to this one. Appreciate you, Dev. Hit my target 900. Hell yeah, Cole. Love to see it. Only day session for me. CB, I mean, if that's your strategy, brother, run with it. There's a reason you do it. Up 5K total on all trades already. Hell yeah, Static. Out at 49.50. Beautiful trade. Love it. I'm happy I trimmed some at 49 just because I was getting a little more like, if this rejects, it kind of sucks. Like if it pulls all the way back without getting anything. Got a little bit. I'm going to throw a stop at 33 though on runners. Runners, like it's not my initial full size position. Yeah, Dev, I believe Lucid is code RT. I believe Lucid only has one code. And if RT doesn't work, use Rake. But I believe it's RT. Yeah, Lucid is 50% off the first 2 accounts that you use if you haven't already in the past month, and then 30% after. No, thank you for the support, brother. It means a lot. Played around in practice today, did well in the reads, again in FOMC, so weird, the good bet cycle with me. Yeah, Mike, the only thing I would think at that point is if you're just focused on trying to pass the accounts as fast as possible or get a payout or like make money. Because obviously on the practice, you're not going to be focused on any of that. So that immediately tells me like that might be something to keep an eye on. It's just if you're focusing on those and that's impacting your trading. Yeah, so I mean, that should immediately help your confidence. It just shows that now it's more so, all right, where's the, like, what can you do to mitigate that? My initial thought would be size down. So that way you physically can't focus on money at that point, right? Money isn't going to be a big factor. Zay, your gifts in what chat? I'm assuming you're talking about trading floor. No. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see him now. Norpez, you want to know the beautiful thing about that? Is that is going to happen probably 10,000 more times. You're going to watch NQ rip 100 points of value over and over and over and over. But what that means is there's that much opportunity in the market. Like, it's just the greatest thing. Stop's going to 39.50 for me. Gold is currently up 20 points from entry as well. So that's moving nice. Gold stop, I'm going to move to 97. So right around break even on that. Now we see, can Asia keep the buying pressure up? We got above last week's high. So we're getting that buying pressure, which opens up room to 80. It does. And I would love to see it. Mike, that's how you should do it, especially if you're struggling at the moment. You should trade the eval the exact same way you will the funded. Like, even though I am in gold on an eval, I wouldn't say I'm overly sized because I'm in like 1 GC worth of micros. But it's not like I'm using 2-3 contracts to try to pass this as soon as possible. Now, mind you, if we get to full target, yeah, the account will be passed. But that's also because I have like a 41 point target on gold. Cole, did the first mini that you typed meant to be micro? When I first started trading futures, I would just trade micros. Now I'm focused on minis with a much tighter stop. Is that what you meant to say? Or is it the other way? Or you traded minis with a wider stop. Now you just do minis with a super tight stop. I don't know. There's a lot of scenarios I can see that being. All right, so at this point, we really just don't even want to see ES below 47s, I would say. Keep us up above 47s, give a strong 15-minute close, ideally, which I'm fine if we have somewhat of an upper wick, but obviously the higher we close, the better. Because now we're looking towards the hourly. We got that strong hourly push. And if this hourly wants to keep going, 89 is not insane. It's not. Nice move on gold as well. I might do this. This would make a lot more sense. So I'll need to put that on a new chart. If we go GC, that entry was $97.5. Stop was 87. I think I got in there. All right, that's what we got going on. Chat, how we doing so far? 82% bullish. Hell yeah, let's rip another poll. How you guys doing? Green, red, vibing? saved my account. Alex, you're welcome. Even though I'm not taking any credit for it, brother. You push the buttons. You entered that trade, so nice job. Hey, that's 2 accounts saved this stream. Let's go. Wait, Alex, was that a funded or was that an eval? Happy belated birthday. Appreciate you, Diana. Means a lot. It was an eval. Either way, you saved it from $1,000 in drawdown to being able to possibly get a funded. Now, just don't degen it, right? That's what we're going to do from here on out so we can get to that funded. Let's take gold stop up to 302. I love how I actively trail stops on evals. Even evals, I'm trying to pass in one trade. By the way, this is the 50K that we tried to trade yesterday that I was like 700 in drawdown on, somewhere around there. 250 away from another funded. Hell yeah, Taylor. Something I'm happy about is in the beginning of stream, we talked about looking for shorts and immediately realized what the market is currently doing and what it has the potential to do, and then flipped into the longs. So I'm content with that. Happy with that move. I'm gonna throw the 4 grid on this one so I can watch it. Was there news you missed? Asia opened, so I'm assuming something with the Asia market popped off. I'm gonna guess Asia's probably ripping a little bit, because they've been getting crushed lately, which has led to some of the overnight sell-offs. Even though we didn't really sell off last night, I know Asia was getting crushed a little bit. But no, I think we just got back over a strong support after that higher time frame support hold. Some evals you can't pass in one day, though. Yeah, Cole, this is Tradify growth that I have, so that one's possible. 5 minis, no joke. Shit, brother. No shit, it's no joke. Fast to flex tonight and just made 1.2K on the funded. Hell yeah, Diana. Glad to see you're back in prime. Let's do this. Yes, stop. I slid up a little more to 45. I'm likely just going to leave it there for now. If we get above 65, I'll trail it again. But until then, no. If I wasn't on an eval, by the way, I'd be looking to trim gold here around 30 or around 20. So that's an area that I'd be interested in trimming. Yeah, Velma, I'm in both of these on 2 separate accounts. Still in all 3 trades? Hell yeah, Static. We'll see if they keep going. We just got a really strong 15-minute close across the board, which is nice, right? Stronger 15s. Now we just got to see if these are going to hold. Obviously, this would need a decent hourly push lower if it's going to stop us out or fail, reject, whatever it may be. So we should be chilling, but we may get something like this again, which is what I would want to see. Get us somewhat of a consolidation. At some point, we may get a slightly larger pullback or a longer consolidation. And it's just something you either have to decide you want to hold through or just let it ride. My normal micro sizing is anywhere between 6 to 15 on MES. Velma, so on the MES trade, I started with 6, added 2 on this higher low, trimmed the add off at 50, and then now I'm holding the rest with a stop up just below where I trimmed before. But yeah, for me, my sizing with MES differs. It can be anywhere from 6 to like 15 contracts, depending on the move I'm looking for. And also what I want to risk, right? We just came off FOMC. We're going into OPEX. I really didn't want to put a lot of risk on, so I was risking like $170 on this trade or something. Which is funny because these 2 contracts that I trimmed covered that risk. But so far, we've seen about 4R on this. Not a bad little trade. Not a bad little trade at all. Micros, TCM, what you're going to do is just put an M in front of it. You're just going to do MGC. And gold is the MGCQ right now. So you want the Q contract. Stop loss Poppy. Yeah, I will at times. I haven't been lately. But I have no problem copy trading accounts. I haven't copy traded like 5 yet. I like to copy trade them in lots of like 2 to 3. So I keep it smaller and run with those. So we might get a bit of a pullback on gold and ES. I don't want to see us lose like 53 to 50s. I would like to see that continue holding for now. What's oil doing? Slowly pushing lower. I'm cool with that. I think we're just trying to figure out where that little support's going to be for us. As long as we don't pull all the way back to 45, then we're all right. My stop isn't 44.75. It's 45. So there we go. But no, as you guys heard yesterday, I talked about I'm working on adding into positions. This is something I want to do. Like if I would really wanted to do it, I would look for another higher low like right here and add back in again and try to ride those contracts. I'm not going to do that for this one, but maybe in the future. Micromaster, not a lot. I don't trade NQ, MNQ a lot. Mainly because I would trade MNQ and I just don't like how they don't move the same between MNQ and NQ. You have to have a drastically wider stop on MNQ because of the random wicks that it gets. Mike, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. I would also just focus on less trades. So like if you see like a really, really nice trade you want to take it on the funded and work on like slowly growing the funded at first. And then over time, you look to size into it a little. But I like that idea for you. Especially just don't rush it. What would that stop be? About 2? All right. Yeah, I'm fine getting stopped at 2R if it does. All right, now we're trying to see where's the overall support going to be if we have one. See if we end up breaking 50. If we break 50, I would anticipate us to get stopped at 45. But ideally, not. This also, just because I don't trade gold a lot, I'm going to slide that up to 305. So we're guaranteed some profit on both at least. Appreciate you, Mike. On Monday, I hit a daily loss limit. Tuesday, Tokyo missed trade. In New York session, missed trade because of sleep. Wednesday, same thing. Really good setup in New York. I got moved. How do I handle this kind of situation? Peak, it's important to realize that you won't always be able to trade, right? And you're going to miss trades. I miss trades all the time. I barely trade New York. I trade New York maybe 3 days a week, most weeks, just because I mainly trade the overnight session. And there's days I miss the open and I sleep late because I go to bed at 4 a.m. those days. And when that happens, what I'm deciding at that point is I'm prioritizing getting good sleep. So when I do plan on trading, I can execute well. But for me, it's just, I'm not overly concerned about missing trades because it's going to happen. It is. And it's just a part of trading. The good thing is there is trades every single session, every single day. Even if we're in a range, there's some type of trade that can be taken. There is. So it's just important to notice that or know that as you build conviction with your trading too, then you start to care less if you miss them. Yes, it can irritate you a little bit. Like if you've been waiting for a setup and you miss it for some reason or don't take it and just fail to execute, it'll irritate you, but don't let it impact you going forward because it's just not worth it. There will be more. VIX is VIX, so it's this little fancy chart right here. It's the volatility index. It's like the prior 30 days of, I think, SPX bearish sentiment on short-term expirations. So as the bears kind of come out, what's the number one thing that brings volatility? Bearish pressure. 98% of the time, it's bearish pressure. So you'll see VIX ramp up, which just means more volatility. The higher VIX goes, the more you have that bearish potential. And that's just kind of how I use it. I use it with a negative correlation towards the indices. And another way I use it is to gauge my stops. Like if this trade, if we were down at 15.5 and we took this same trade, this stop might have been 4.5 points, maybe even a little less because the volatility is going to be less. So it also tells me what my expectations on a trade should be and how I should kind of manage that a little bit better. Jesse James, it always is the right time, brother. Appreciate it, my man. Appreciate it. Elder, what was your OG thesis? You wanted to pull back to long, right? I would have to look at chat. Beautiful trade, Static. Beautiful. Nicely done. Hang on, my uncle wished me happy birthday, so I got to reply to him. We'll see how the 4-hour closes. Yeah, we still have some time on it. Pull back near the open, enter long, or have to retest it. Elder, the hard part for me there is now you would be anticipating this to reverse. Obviously, this is gold, but you didn't be anticipating this whole thing to reverse to retest that. If that happened, I would start to lean more bearish. But yeah, obviously if it held, it could get the continuation. I would just start to lean a little more bearish if that happened for me. That's a pretty aggressive reversal. Most chill stream ever. Appreciate you, Joanna. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing for like entertainment purposes, but I appreciate you. Yeah, gold should test 30s. I want 40. We'll see. Either way, if gold gets to 40 to 50, that is an insane trade. I'm gonna be mad. Gold finally treats me well. I don't take it on my funded account. Jesse, I'm 29. As much as I know as it doesn't look like it, my ass is getting old. I got one more year till I turn unk. I'm 30 like Jake. Anyone take gold, by the way? I know I like subtly mentioned it because we were focused on the ES trade. And I didn't have them up at the same time, but I'm curious if anyone took it. I guarantee you some people are in gold because you guys love to trade gold. And I'm not saying like took my trade, but just took a gold long. Imagine you traded normal GC. No, I won't fucking trade normal GC. I won't touch normal GC. Fuck that. I know, Ollie. I know. Make sure you get Velcro shoes next year. Yeah, I need one of those, the little heel thing. I forget what they're called, where you slide in the back of your shoe to help you get it on. Yo, I got that chronic back pain when I lean over. I'm honestly really happy with this gold entry. This one was good. I wanted it here, but we got it here anyway. That's why I got in, because I was worried about it kind of running without me. And the conviction was there. This gold entry is nice. We're close to passing that account. We're close. I'm going to move gold stop up to 310. $37 over here? You're still young. The heel fucker. I don't know if I've heard it called that before. No, calm. I mean, you guys should be happy I'm trading gold. Because by the way, like, you know, the better I do on gold, the more chances I look at it in the future. And chat, by the way, what's the one thing we wanted on ES right here? We talked about it, and it should be, I'm sure y'all know. But we wanted that 15-minute consolidation bar, like what happened right here, to give us the potential of that continuation. 15-minute, beautiful consolidation, pulled back to where we trimmed. Got slightly below 50, but we just wanted to see it hold 50. Held 50 so far. Now, if we get above 61, that's when it really opens the potential. At least up towards like 50 or 70 to like 75-ish. Anywhere up in this ballpark, I'm willing to trade. Because at that point, it's just like a hell yeah trade. I mean, it already is like a hell yeah kind of trade. What do you think on ES fair value gap on 1 hour kind of rejection? Zach, I don't even know what a fair value gap is, brother. So I have absolutely no clue. Thought you was around 20 something. I am. I'm 29. I'm close to 30 though. Close. We getting up there. All nighter trade gold in ES. Ollie, do you want to see me have a heart attack? It's for D-Jets. I love how half of chat trades ICT and the other half shits on ICT. What a wonderful world we live in. I want to see us get up to these highs. But I don't know. If this 5 can consolidate, we may just get a longer consolidation, and I'm cool with that. Appreciate you, Jonah. How you doing, brother? Whenever you trade, it's all the same stuff with fancy fucking names. Agreed. Agreed, Blink. And that's the thing. You guys know, especially those of you that have been in chat, I'll troll about ICT. I'll troll about other concepts as well. I'll troll about trendline trading. If it works for someone, I don't give a shit. Do your thing. Do what works for you. Which broker do you use? Trade Debate. Could be executing better, but surviving. You'll get there, Jonah. I mean, it's just for you know what to do, right? You know how to look back into that. But you'll get it, brother. Probably just in a little bit of a slight rut. As long as you're doing well on the risk part, which I know you are, you're chilling. Volume profile, don't use it. What you see on my chart is what I... Actually, no. Hang on, let me fix that. What you see on my charts now is what I use to trade. That's it. That's all I use. Obviously, different time frames as well, but that's it. Nothing fancy. Wesley. Just for those of you that may not have chat open. Wesley here was feeling a little good yesterday after his football team won, soccer team, whichever you call it. Traded his 50K eval. And he now needs $9,500 to pass it. Because of his consistency. You made $5,000 fucking dollars on a 2-day to pass eval. Holy hell. I mean, at that point, you either have to, well, it depends what your normal risk is. But you're likely going to lean more towards either chipping away at it, which is going to take a little bit, or trying to make like $2,000 on trades, to where it may take you like 3 trades to pass. So you're either going to need to size up to similar to what you were when you were drunk. I was thinking I may need to scale up for that account. Yes. Depending on what you normally make, like if you're typically aiming for $1,000 in profit, I mean, even that would be fine. It's just, you have to debate Are you willing to put the time into it, or do you kind of want to try to pass it sooner? Just get drunk again. Honestly, not a terrible idea, right? I've heard worse pieces of advice. Now, I wouldn't say go heavy with positions because I'm sure he still wants to try to pass the account. If you go heavy, it can get, because if you think about it, if he goes heavy and let's say he risks $2,000 on a trade, if he loses $2,000, he now needs to make an additional two, so $6,500. Yeah, if you want to, that's a decent idea from Poppy. But what you could do is get another eval, trade that one with your normal size, and then when you see the higher risk to reward type of trades, rip the one that you need 9K on. Ron, don't lose. That's all, bitch. I lost yesterday. Literally 24 hours ago, I was red. Ziddy, appreciate you reaching out, but Jake has an editor already. Hope you find some work, though. Yeah, Lost. I definitely wouldn't say volume's fancy. It's just, I used to use it in the beginning, but then I never spent the time to learn how people use it. And I did well without it. So I just never used it. Yeah, Cole. No, and yeah, I was replying to that, which is fair. But my only thing is if he loses, then it's just going to be even harder if he does big risk. But in reality, at that point too, if you have 5K in drawdown, you could definitely up your risk for sure. Because let's say worst case, you risked for a $2,000 account. If you 2.5 your risk, the math still maths to whatever your risk was since it's 5K now. So you can do that. I just don't think I've seen people make it to that extent on an eval before. I don't think I've ever seen someone have 4K, let alone 5K in drawdown on an eval. That's impressive. I'll give it to you. You did well while you were drunk. Very well. Jojo, if that's the math for 40% of 3K, which I believe it is, then yes. You just can't have one day bigger than $1,200. And, well, you can. You just have to make more. Kind of like the situation Wesley's in. No, Jessica, if once you get above a certain limit, you have extra drawdown on the prop firm accounts. And he's well above. Well above. He's probably at the point where he no longer has a trailing drawdown. He has a static drawdown on an eval. It's just fucking crazy. Guan Steven, I don't know the exact rules on the Tradeify daily payout. I have not traded that account. So I would have to look at the rules and go off of that. Like, I don't know the parameters to get a payout on that account personally. I think you have to make like a certain amount in the account and then a percentage of the profits over that you can withdraw, I think. But what I would do is just trade normal. You shouldn't have to switch your strategy drastically just because of certain rules on an account. You might need to change your sizing. I'm not going to tell you to play aggressive on a funded account. I won't. I'm not that person. I would just say trade how you normally trade, brother. If you want to be aggressive with it, be aggressive. But for me, though, I'm usually not overly aggressive on fundeds. Chat, we do have 16 minutes until Tokyo Open. we're getting a little slow on the indices in general, which is expected, right? We're up 60 points off the open. What are we up here? About 30 from entry. So yeah, little slowdown is kind of anticipated. Gold though. Gold's ripping. She's really ripping. Jack, I definitely wouldn't say most people trade Asia. I think there's a lot smaller of a group of traders that trade Asia session versus New York. Most people love the heightened volatility of New York, the quick trades at the open. And I would even be willing to say more people trade the New York Open than trade like the mid to end of day New York as well. Asia's just a different game because a lot of people don't love the slower price action that we can get. Cutback for me with these trades, the targets I'm taking are either like 15 and hourly pivots that I'm paying attention to, or the prior day, week, high and low. Those are what I use for a lot of my targets at the moment. Vilma, you trading one MNQ? Main reason I ask is because if you're trading one micro on MES, that would take you a fucking minute to pass. That would be brutal to try to pass. Of course, brother. Chat, by the way, we are at 100 likes. So if we get up to 150, which isn't crazy, because I know a decent amount of you probably didn't like the stream, we'll run the giveaway immediately. Might run it a little sooner. Might be a little generous. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how everything goes. MNQ on New York Open. That's fair, because MNQ, that's definitely possible. I could easily see you doing that, because let's say you catch 150 points, that's $300. Do that 10 times, you pass, right? Come on, stalkers. Like, no, Ollie, they're lurkers. There's a difference. At least I hope I don't have any stalkers. You know what's interesting? Oil hasn't even started to push lower yet. Besides, like, the fade of the open. So if it does push lower, we can continue pretty easily. Pretty easily. Also, the 15s look good. I can't tell everyone to like it and then do sub only immediately after. That's just rude. That's just criminal. Wide stops, and if the trade is moving my direction, you just add one more micro, no more than that. Beautiful. I love adding into strength, especially instead of adding into weakness, because it keeps your stops tight. And then when you add, your stops either going to be the exact same amount or less, because you usually trail your stop when you add into a position anyway. Check. Gold's moving up towards that target. She's ripping. She's ripping. This would be a really nice trade if it hits. So if these two hit, we would have 4R and then just under 7R on the stream. You can't ask for much more. Either way, gold is up around 3.5. I don't hate trims anywhere up here. I don't. I'm definitely gonna trail stop a lot farther. I'm gonna go 22.5. So we're squeezing that into profit slowly as she moves. 22.5. There we go. Marks, what gap are you looking to fill? We didn't gap up, did we? No, we didn't gap up. Cole, you should have it on. If you use prior price action, you should have it on. And I'll show you exactly why. So if you're looking at this chart, obviously we had this gap on Sunday. It was the contract rollover plus the market gaps because of the piece deals, stuff like that. Right now, that gap goes, it is, what size is that gap? Just so I can be truthful. That gap is 45 points. If you turn B80J off, it does not adjust for contract sizing. So that gap now looks like it's 109 points and we didn't fill it, when in reality we did. What B80J does is it adjusts all the prior price action to what the current pricing is on the contract that we're rolling into. So it's something that I always use personally. How's gold treating me? Right, not bad. Not bad. Up 40 points on a short. Oh, on NQ. Not a bad little short. If we get stopped in profits, I'm cool with it. We had some nice runs so far. $15's pushing a little bit lower. What's the hourly doing? Hourly's getting a bit of a wick on ES. Gold is just strong, which I like. All we're doing right now, though, is testing this area. What I would be looking for is give me a 15-minute failure to go lower. We talked about it. Wouldn't be shocking if we saw at some point we're going to see a longer consolidation. Maybe a little bit more of an aggressive pullback. That's what I'm okay with here. If we spend some time in this range, it's worth it to me. Especially because right now, what I'd be looking at, let's say you take this price action where our current stop is versus where our target is. Even from here, the risk to reward on runners is 3.7. Worst case, you move it up to here, 1.5. Risk to reward still worth it for me to hold runners. Trade Bob. You see why I wanted to take it though? I mean, it looked good. Gold was at the point where like I couldn't not at least try it. Patch elusive flex, hell yeah. I entered on a bull flag on gold. Did you get in up around 320 if you entered later? Appreciate you, Com. Have a good one, brother. All right, let's just give us a little bit more on gold and we'll be filled. I did raise stop up, so no matter what, we're over 2R on that stop. So what would that be? Just so I get the exact number. If we get stopped on gold, we are locking in 2.4R. If we hit final target, we'll be up at 4. Obviously up here, the risk reward gets a little skewed on it, which I'm cool with. It's gold. It's going to be more volatile. And I'm also working on just trading it in general. I'm tempted to go 27.5 and go up 5 more points. I'm going to do that. Even if it stops me out, it'll be a nice trade. So I'm going to move stop on gold up to 27.5. Just tightening them a little bit. Reason I'm not doing it for ES is because ES hasn't moved out of this area because we moved that stop when we were up here. So if we lose these lows, we'll likely go test this, which I'm fine with on the remaining. That's exactly what you got in trade bop. I like that entry, especially if you miss the initial move. That's also a good thesis where even if you miss the entry you're dying for, there's going to be more in a move. It just depends on what time frame you're looking at for entries. Even on ES, where we added was an entry. If this ends up continuing, you could find an entry somewhere in this consolidation, depending on how far we pull back or not. We are coming into the end of the hourly, though. ES has a little bit of an upper wick, nothing crazy. What do the other indices look like? So NQ is strong, ES is strong, YM's not bad. RTY is a little sideways-ish. There's a little bit more weak on the hourly. Profit target on gold is 39. I think it can go higher, but I passed the account at 39. Which this is the 50K we traded yesterday. Trying along on YM, nothing crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's been a little slower right now, so if it does pick up, you could see that continuation. Mike Wright. That's like my buddy. He works for a larger company that's in the market. And when he gets his shares, they take money out of his check every single week and they only buy quarterly. And I'm like, dude, that's unfortunate because right after they buy, you're throwing money in and they're literally just making money off of his investment before he even gets to invest it. And then they finally invest it 3 months later. I'm like, that's crazy. TradeWap, I'm in a funded with the P&L you see on screen and in eval. Wait, am I in eval or funded? I'm in funded on that. Yeah, funded. And then I'm in an eval on gold, which I mentioned when I got in gold. You can only sell shares purchased the year before. Damn. I mean, I get it. I saw a lot of people talking about SpaceX whenever, I forget when they're going to launch like the 20% of the shares, because I think only 5% were listed publicly or something. Isn't that what this was? And correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know a lot about the SpaceX and the way they're doing their IPO. But I saw someone's waiting for when like 20% of the shares get pushed out to short the company because it's trading like what 100x over its revenue at the moment. So they're waiting, anticipating a bunch of shareholders to sell and kind of tank the stock on that. But it was also a random thing I saw on Instagram. You have that day booked in your calendar, or you have the 1 year mark booked in your calendar. December 8th for that 20%. Okay. What, Joe? Are you talking about the SpaceX? Short SpaceX? Hell yeah. Bro, you know the funny thing? There's probably a lot of people out there that were freaking out looking to trade options on SpaceX thinking they would get them at IPO. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's gold. Oh no, it hit the stop first, you dick. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh well. It came down, it hit that, and then ripped. Unfortunate. Because I looked at my account, I'm like, why am I not passed? That's why. Nice trade either way. If you didn't trail your stop as aggressive as I did, congratulations. For me, even when I do good on gold, gold's still a little piece of shit. You can't convince me gold's a nice name to trade. Does it make nice moves? Yes. But it's not a nice name to trade. I also probably moved my stop up too much, and that's on me. But we live. That's the worst. Dude, especially because I just looked over. I saw it pop off the Tokyo Open. And I was like, hell yeah. I looked at the broker. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't pass. And then I got stopped. Either way, you should have at least got either 2.9R or 4.0R if you followed along that. Even though I say don't follow my trades, I know y'all do, right? It's clear as day. It happens. It's going to happen no matter what. So if you took it, or if you took your own gold, congratulations. Now we're trying to see if ES can do the same. See if ES can get us up there. Appreciate you, Roth. Rye guy, you still in here or did you leave? Chat, I'll make a deal with you, by the way. Since we just hit one profit target, I'm lowering this. So you guys need 11 likes. If 11 of you, not 10, 11 like the stream, I'll run the giveaway. How much did you bagged? That was $10 under 3,000 on the eval on gold. ES or MES, you can see what I'm up to the right on the screen. Almost 900. Can I re-like it? I don't think so, Cole. I don't think so. But yeah, I'm trying to make it easier since we hit one target so we can do the giveaway. But I don't think Rye Guy's here. I don't. I'm going to play something that he made that I thought was funny as shit yesterday. But I'm going to have to listen to it on my phone as well, just to make sure I don't make you guys go deaf. Because the way I have to have my audio at the moment is pretty rough. Just because my YouTube is on the lowest setting it could possibly go to. So let me pull up the stream. I'll tell you what, chat. If there's not 130, 125, I'll even like it for you guys. I'll give you guys the love. All right, so I'm going to try to mute this real quick. Let me see how loud this is. All right, so a little louder. Hang on. I'll figure out the volume, then we'll play it. All right. I think that's decent. I'll go a little bit higher. If you don't like it, oh well. Rye Guy literally made this for my birthday yesterday. And I thought it was funny as fuck. See you, Marks. While I'm playing it, though, I'll run the giveaway. No, Cole, it's because yesterday we talked about him making a song. And he made a Jamaican song, so I made a joke about it. You can't hear shit? Can the rest of you hear? Oh, increase the volume. All right, we'll go back. You should be able to hear now, for sure. A little more. I don't want to deafen everybody. I don't want to go too loud. A little more, man. Hang on. My phone's barely up and I hear it loud as that. Jake, you a birthday gift. You gave me 2 evals to trade. So yeah. And I don't need more than that. That's plenty. Yeah, so that's why I'm listening on my phone. It's plenty loud. I'm not going any louder than that.
Still make it fun with every trip. YM swings and crude oil climbs. You keep the jokes right on time. Asia thunder, candles blue. We were charting through and through. Ohio thunder hit the block. You are still the talk of the walk.
Chat, while this is playing, we're going to run the giveaway. 25K account given away in 5 minutes. You have 5 to enter. Exclamation mark, enter. Am I in a trade? Brian Garcia, yeah. Got out of gold. Still in ES. Bro, the amount of like jokes in this song is crazy. Like if you know all the back stuff about stream and just me, all of it is so insane. Dude, this is like no joke. This song is sick. I love it. Jake will probably steal his beat for his next album. All right, chat, while this is playing, I'm running to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. All right, we back. If you haven't yet, exclamation mark, enter chat gets you in the giveaway. Giving away a 25K Tradeify growth account. To be fair, I think this is probably going to be some of the greatest odds you guys have because viewers are a little lower today. Anyways, chat, what do you guys think about that song? This shit better than KSI. Raf, I don't know if that's that hard to beat. I don't know if that's that crazy. Only thumbs up people can qualify. I mean, eventually, I will do stream or sub only. So that way, what it does is it prevents people from just hopping in, joining a giveaway, and then leaving. Also gets us more subs. Dude, I can't believe gold did me dirty like that. I wasn't even watching the chart. I was like, damn, target hit. Nasty. Can you guys release a Project 365 playlist for day traders? Jake has a playlist that he plays. He does. I mean, you guys hear it every day on stream. I usually just don't use that playlist because then everyone hears the same songs on multiple streams. So I use like the playlist that our editor got me. But no, it'd be cool if we had like the Rake Trades music all in one playlist. I just don't know what kind of playlist you put that in. You guys have 1 minute left, chat. Yeah, 1 minute, exclamation mark, enter. 82 of you currently in. So you got pretty decent odds. You do. Stream bit reloaded. Oh. How much time we got? 20 seconds. If you don't get in, this one I'm now reopening because we gave 5 minutes. And there's a decent amount of you guys in. Seems like a lot of people that usually enter giveaways are in because usually we get around that like 120-ish area. And based off the current stream numbers, it's right around there. I'm the winner. Brian already? SoCal Brady. I have it at 79 for now. Moses and doses. I think that's backwards, my guy. Angelo McDowell. Are you here? Dude, I also saw the hell Jake went through at the end of day stream. I don't know if anyone was here, but we've been there. Yes, Berg brother, shoot me a DM on Instagram. Is this your first stream that you've been to? My Instagram is going to be here as well. If you don't have it, it should pop up in chat. I think this might be your first stream because it's the first stream you've commented in. This your first? Welcome, brother. Hopefully you're back for more. For those of you that don't know, I'll do a little cheeky plug. What we do is Project 365. There's 5 of us that stream. We stream roughly like 12 hours a day overall. Angelo, it's right above your comment in the chat. There's 5 of us to stream, right? I stream 7 to 9 p.m., sometimes a little later. Obviously, right now it's later. Alan, the man, the myth, the legend, 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern. Jake, the Rake Trades, the one that funds it all, is from usually 8:30 to about 11:30, sometimes 12:30 in the morning. Mitch is 12:30, 1:30. Lamelli is 1:30 to 3:30. So we basically cover every single time of the market when most people want to trade. We're here. Is watch Rong. He's the go. Appreciate you, Johnny. Appreciate you. What a stream to show up on, too. Because we just fucking smoked gold and ES. ES isn't up there so far, but this chart looks fucking good. It does. It does. We'll see if we can get the continuation. Angelo, let me know in chat when you shoot me a DM so I can make sure I got it. Appreciate you, PD. Holy shit, I just looked at my DMs. I have 40 messages I have to reply to from yesterday. Oh no. Oh no. I gotta do that later. What up, Benz? Yeah, Angelo, it is. It'll be me in a white hoodie. Chat, I'm gonna trail a little more because at this point I don't want to lose this low. So I'm gonna go 48 on the dot. Hopefully it doesn't do me like it did me on gold. Either way, gold still hit. We'll count it. 48 and then trim was 79. I'm just setting an OCO real quick. So I don't have to worry about orders accidentally filling. Have you guys had that happen where you forget to set an OCO and you have like a stop and a take profit on the chart and you forget one and then it fills you later when you're not even trying to trade? Just got your DM, brother. Once stream ends, I'll shoot you that code. Jordan, are you talking? You trade on Tradeovate? Blew my account. Dude, it's happened to me. I slam exit market cancel all the time. Every single opportunity I get. Yeah, you do. Give me 1 second and I'll probably help out a few people in chat real quick. Because I have a Tradeovate walkthrough video. I just don't have it posted. I should probably just post it so I can just tell people to go to my YouTube, even though I got to make a new one then because it's so old. What's crazy though is I know I talked about this before. That one has 320 views and I've never posted it. And my other one has 840 and I've never posted it. So this link here, if you can, copy and paste it. If not, shoot me a DM. But that will give you a Tradeovate walkthrough of everything I know about Tradeovate. It doesn't tell you how to trade on TradingView from Tradeovate because I don't do that. But that'll do a whole walkthrough. If you need it outside of this stream, just shoot me a DM on anything. Discord, Instagram, whatever it is. And I'll get you. So young. Dude, that was a few years ago. I guarantee you the S&P was probably started with a 5 back then. Angelo, there's people in here punching the air because they've been trying to win for 7 weeks straight on 4 to 5 streams a day, and you showed up day one and just walked away with it. Rigged. I mean, if it was rigged, I'd give it to one of the actual day one viewers or myself. One or the other. One or the other. See you, Mike. Jesse, it's not repeating. Don't worry about it. See you, Ollie. Yeah, I'll probably be ending in a minute or so. Well, not like a minute, but I'm going to walk through gold real quick. Gold for me was playing off of the fact that we filled this gap, got a little bit of a rally higher. I wasn't paying a lot of attention to the 4 hour per se, but more so one looking at the hourly. And here's something that to like pay attention to at times. Yes, this is weak as hell. even if you want more so a short on gold, I would kind of want a retest of the breakdown area. And that would be up here, right? Right around 40, which is where we trimmed. Initially, I was targeting 50. We didn't quite, well, 49. Did we get 49? Oh, shit. If you held till 49, you almost filled. You might have filled with some slippage because gold isn't that fluid. But I was looking at the hourly consolidation at the highs up here, as well as the indices strength. Gold usually tends to trend slightly with the indices. It's not perfect, but normally it does. And then as I was looking at the 15, when I entered, we're above the open. We rejected this. If this was going to be the high, we should have sold off here. We didn't. We started to get a failure to go lower. So we retested this, started to get that buying pressure. That immediately shows we have support right below, which is where I put my stop. And then we ended up obviously getting the entry. I took the entry on the 5 because we were in a consolidation too. I think I actually got in on this range here personally. So I got in a little early. We did see a little bit of red in the beginning. I think I got in there somewhere. But I was looking for this little 5-minute bull flag to break. And I'm still getting used to trading gold overall. But I was looking for that to break. Obviously pulled back a little bit, retested this, which I'm fine with. Held me in the trade by quite literally 4 ticks. No. What's a tick on gold? Yeah, 4 ticks on gold. So I was looking for the multi-time frame analysis. Even if I wanted to short, I would want to see 40, possibly 50 test. See that rally up there. So at that point, if there's that much potential of a move to the upside, even for the short entry, I might as well take that because you're looking at 4-to-1 risk to reward off of that alone. I wouldn't say it was like A++ because of what the 4-hour looks like. But when you have daily support across the indices, you come down, we're retesting the breakout area on gold as well before where we gapped up. Same thing we did on the indices. We held those areas, which led to me just being willing to take longs across the board. Oil dying. That's why I was definitely willing to hold this through some pullbacks because oil hasn't even moved yet. If oil breaks the open and gets continuation lower, that negative correlation, if it plays out, these can go higher. I still think 79 is an easy target on ES. Appreciate you, Jesse. Yeah, I'll always break them down. I don't have a problem with that. ES looks so good. My past revals after a month. Yes, sir. Note to self, though, with gold, do not run tight trailing stops. So that's something to know. Yeah, trader, I look at every single time frame. I look from the weekly to the daily to the 4-hour, hourly, and then lower. But a lot of my thesis is going to come from like the daily, 4-hour, hourly. Velma, I'm not shorting this on gold personally. I wouldn't be like, also, you gotta remember, I don't trade gold a lot. So if this is a normal gold move where it slams off here and rejects, if it rejects, cool. I caught my piece. I really don't care what gold does now. For me, it's going to be what the next hour does. Because if we're able to get a back above like 40 and hold above 40, especially for like the 4-hour close, that's a strong ass candle. Even though it has a bearish candle before it, we can easily start an attempt to reverse that. It's possible. We've done it multiple times. And you got to remember, especially when volatility is present, we want to pay attention more to structure versus individual candles. Daily is in a downtrend. If you remember too, because I know you've been on a few streams, I'm still waiting for a gold options trade for when the daily sets a lower high. If we set that today, I may look to take swings tomorrow on gold. I might. I'm not opposed to it at all. Over the weekend, weekly, especially if we get above last week's highs, in all honesty, and I will tell you this, if gold bulls want to take over, they will push this thing into 350. Back above 350, which is where we were, because that's last week's highs. If we get above 350, we now have this massive failure on gold, and I'll make it big screen. We have this big failure on gold where we swept these lows, retested this large support. If we get back over 350, I think gold can rip. And I'm talking like 4,600 easy as a first target. Target this little weekly high pivot here. And if we get above that, the next one sits at 4,800. So I'd be interested in gold longs no matter what if tomorrow gets us above 350 and we're able to hold. I don't know if I'll trade tomorrow in New York because obviously we had a good session tonight. Worst case, I might trade it a little bit, just try to pass that the 50K eval. CITR. You're gonna pass your funded if ESTP hits. Where's your take profit? Or are you targeting the same thing as me? Of course, Jomo. Jomo, are you sizing differently or are you sizing the same across them between the evals and the fundeds? Because that'll probably tell me exactly what I need to know if you answer that. If we just push to 78 and 90, I might start giving away accounts. Stop loss Poppy. If you want to fund some for the chat, let me know. Waffy, what do you mean still gap in ES? To the downside? No. Chat, if you have a gap on ES still, turn on, if you're on TradingView, hit B80J down here. Because the gap that we gapped naturally was filled. If you don't have this on, the gap you're focusing on is the contract rollover. That gap doesn't actually exist. You got to remember, ES didn't gap up 110 points. It only gapped up like 50 or so. But the contracts rolled over as well, so that's going to show a larger gap if you don't have B80J on. See, Jomo, that's just going to be perspective that you have to look at. Start thinking, try to start making yourself think differently because you can pass the evals, which means you can get a payout. Right? You can do it. You've done it. If you can pass an eval, you can get a payout easily. You just probably start thinking more of the aspect of either fear of losing the account or trying to force that funded. If you trade it the exact same, nothing should change in the end. Nothing. And it's just, you should have the confidence, or at least force yourself to build the confidence that you can do it. Because you're proving over and over again you can if you can pass an eval. I'm still willing to fund accounts for chat to choose the trades we do. Jordan, you mean like you get us accounts and then we let chat pick the trades? Jomo, that's a great thing to do. And if you struggle with fundeds in the beginning part, size down. Remember, there's no reason to focus on the time aspect of getting payouts. Jordan, we'll try that one day next week on an eval. I'll even let you guys pick the name, and I already know. Actually, I don't know what my chat would pick. I'm leaving. I would probably leave silver out of it because I'm not going to blow the account immediately. I'd probably just pick out of the core 6. No, probably leave RTY out of it because fuck RTY. It's too slow. I'd probably do ES, NQ, gold, and oil and let you guys pick that. And I have a feeling it's either going to be NQ or gold. I think that would be fun. We could do that one day next week. I'll just have to buy a 50K. Really reduce the fear? Good. That means that's probably the size you're willing to use in the beginning. So now you know. Really like the stream. Appreciate you, brother. It means a lot. All right, so we're getting a bit of a rejection here. I wanted to see ES push higher. We need to see it kind of push. We got another 15-minute consolidation, so I like this. We got the broader consolidation we wanted, got a little trend bar. Now we're looking for the 3-bar play to play out, right? Trend consolidation. Now give me that next trend bar. This next 15 can push. We should at least be able to get up towards 70. Maybe even higher because of how long we consolidated. No matter what, though, I'm assuming we probably won't hit trim on stream, depending how long I want to stay on, because I don't think I want to stay on too much longer. And then I'm just going to leave the OCO set. Jake is very entertaining. Jake is by far, he's just, dude, it's just, that's his personality. That's the craziest thing. Like, if you see him in person, that is his exact personality. All right, let's see if we can get a push over 60 on this 5-minute. What city? Brother, I can't tell you what city I live in because I live in a small town. So I'm not going to dox myself, but I live in Ohio, east of Cleveland. He doesn't crack on first dates, though. Valid, honestly. Anyways, chat, how'd you guys do today? Green, red? Should be green as long as you long the market and didn't try to short. Should be doing pretty well across the board, I would assume. So what reminds you of a scary movie? Gives you goosebumps? The whole city? Yeah. New lows likely on oil. Good, dude. If oil keeps pushing, the indices could easily keep rallying. I mean, oil looks horrible. Look at that 4-hour. Oil looks like it wants probably like 71.5s at least. I'd be kind of shocked if that didn't test. We should get some continuation here because the indices all look pretty good. They look strong now. Gold looks strong as well. So we might be able to see around the clock kind of push.
Tuesdays wearing a hat so black, walking backwards on a crooked track.
I haven't been to Cincinnati. I think I've driven through Cincinnati because one time I drove to Nashville with my buddies. But I've never stopped in like Cincinnati. All I know about Cincy is that they're known for their chili. But I've never been to like Cincy, Dayton area. See you, Jordan. Hell yeah, brother. Just pass your TPT account. Hell yeah, Rye. Rye, we played the Jamaica song earlier. Appreciate you, Uncle Plutus. I'll play it again in the future. I know I will, because that's a good one. I love that one. I'm going to reverse the stream. I forget. It was when we did the giveaway. So, does this have a time on it? It'd be about 25 minutes ago. But chat, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I think I'm going to call it. I'm going to leave this open with OCOs. I'm either going to get stopped down at 48 at the recent lows, or I'm going to hit target up at 79. Yeah, right. I liked it. I just had so many messages and stuff I was trying to catch up on yesterday. I still have like 7 on Discord and I think 40 on Instagram I have to get to. So yeah, I got a few. But no, I listened to it. I listened to it at like 2 a.m. last night. But I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up stream here. Beautiful trades. 4-ish are on gold. And then about 4 to 4.2-ish on ES so far. Can't complain. Can't complain at all. We'll see if we get continuation or not. If we see in a broader consolidation, I could see it. I'm not opposed to it, you know. Market rallied a decent amount. We'll see what it gives from now. I think I'm going to wrap up there. I don't know if we're on tomorrow because we have a short week and a holiday week. So I'll talk to Jake about that. I would lean more towards no. And then obviously Allen streams 1 p.m. Eastern or 1 a.m. Eastern. I always mention it just in case. For ES, I'm looking towards 79. If we get above that, where would I want? If ES gets above 79, I would look honestly up towards like 89. Above that, 600 and then 612, which is yesterday's high. If we get above 612, I think we could fucking squeeze. But I'd be shocked if we get above 612. We'll see though. I'm gonna go ahead and call it there though. Y'all have a great rest of your night, and I will see you guys Sunday.